who weren't hunter-gatherers. Not originally. We were caretakers. We were gardeners. We were in a state of communion and communication with the natural order of the world around us. And as the highest, most intelligent species on Earth, we were the ones that were entrusted with the responsibility of tending to this planet and taking care of the life that is here. We didn't hunt our friends. We didn't gather our ancestors. We took care of them. We tended to them. And we were the ones that drew blood for the first time. Man killing man. We became unaligned in our ideals. We became dissatisfied with our lot. Jealousy, envy crept in. When Cain slew Abel, it wasn't the way it was taught to us. It wasn't because Abel had offerings of meat, Cain had offerings of grain, and that the smell of burning meat was more desirable than the smell of cooking vegetables. That wasn't it. Cain and Abel represented whether they were two individual beings or whether they were two separate races, previous hominids that were here before Homo sapiens existed simultaneously. It wasn't on the linear progression like we see in the little evolution chain. There were multiple different types of hominids that were here at the same time in different parts of the planet, all uniquely created in order to care for the area that they were in most adeptly, whether it was a cold environment or a hot one or a wet one or a dry one. Periodically, there would be points of review where the different branches of life that were being cultivated, one being in the animal kingdom and one being in the plant kingdom, were considered and evaluated and appreciated for the growth and the change that was there. And I'm not sure why, but the animal kingdom was loved more dearly by the one reviewing. They were more impressed. Always, every time, every review. They always had more things to say about the animal kingdom. And it's not that they didn't appreciate the plant kingdom and the amazing diversity of life within it as well. It was just that their heart was, even though they tried not to show it, favored the growth and the diversity in the animal kingdom. And they saw that as more important, or more valuable, or more sought after than that in the plant kingdom. And so Cain and Abel, Cain being responsible to take care of the plant kingdom, and Abel being responsible to take care of the animal kingdom, Cain got jealous. And what he was working on wasn't seen as valuable as what Abel was working on. And it made him mad. And the first great tragedy befell humankind when Cain took the life of Abel, killed his own brother took his own blood. Once this happened, everything else began to fall apart. Now all of the other hominid races that were in places of protection and care started to become disillusioned. Once that perfect symbiotic relationship was broken, once one aspect stepped away, I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. The blood had been shed. And humanity was no longer caring for the animal kingdom. Now they were on their own. We all became on our own. Humans separated themselves out to their own way of experiencing the world. And we became at odds with the ones that we had been protecting. The hunters and the gatherers were the next generation after the caretakers. After that ended and we weren't living in harmony with the natural kingdom, now we began to dominate it. Now we began to have dominion over it. And the same skills that we once used to communicate with our brothers and our sisters, we now used to track them, to hunt them, to do the same thing to them that we had done to ourselves, which was to take in order to live. And so here we are, disconnected, disjointed, at odds. We're the only species that struggles to stay alive. Every other species, they live in perfect harmony with the world around them. They don't struggle against it. Doesn't mean that they don't endure suffering, but they don't struggle the way humans struggle. We will always struggle this way until we get back to our roots, until we go back to the place that we were supposed to be in, that we were in for a very, very long time, and only very recently have stepped out of. Thought that we had a better way, thought that we could do it differently, thought that technology would replace nature. What are your thoughts?
Like and follow The Michael Howell on all platforms for more mind expansion content.